This video is sponsored by Card Trader, a global marketplace where you can buy and sell TCG cards like the Pokemon trading card game. Please use my code POPNIGHT24 at checkout where you can get 5% off your first purchase. A link will be in the description below. Thank you again to Card Trader for sponsoring this video. Hey guys, in today's video, I'll be showcasing Team Rocket Zapdos from the Destined Rivals expansion set. What makes Team Rocket Zapdos really good is its first attack, Jamming Wing. For 2 colorless energies, it deals 30 damage, and you may also move an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their bench Pokemon. And our whole strategy will basically center on preventing our opponent from energizing their attacks. So as much as possible, you always want to move the energies to one of your opponent's Pokemon that do not attack. And we can easily power up Zapdos' attack with Team Rocket's energy. We also have other cards in this build to make it even more difficult for your opponent to energize their Pokemon. The first one is with the help of Handheld Fan. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, move an energy from the attacking Pokemon to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And you can easily search out Handheld Fan with the help of the Town Store Stadium. We also have 3 copies of Crushing Hammer. You flip a coin, if it's heads, you can discard an energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon. And I also have 1 copy of Enhanced Hammer. This allows you to discard a special energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon. And to make it even harder for your opponents to knock out Team Rocket Zapdos, I have the Neutralization Zone A-Spec card. This will prevent any damage done to our non-rule box Pokemon from the attacks of our opponent's EX or V Pokemon, potentially making it invincible. And you can easily search out your stadiums and energies with the help of Colorless Tenacity. Team Rocket Zapdos' second attack is Wicked Thunder. For 1 lightning and 2 colorless energies, it deals 60 plus damage. However, if this Pokemon has any Team Rocket's energy attached, this attack will do 120 damage instead. For added disruption, I have Badoo with the Itchy Pollen attack. This will prevent your opponent from using any item cards during their turn. And I also have 1 copy of Team Rocket's Chingling with the Chiming Commotion attack. This allows you to discard a random card from your opponent's hand. And finally, I also have Xerosic's Machinations. This will force your opponent to discard cards from their hand until they only have 3 left. As for the other cards worth noting, I also have Munkidori with the Adrenabrain ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has any dark energy attached, you may move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. And this Sandshrew is here mainly to counter Raging Bolt EX, since its Sunscreen ability can prevent your opponent from recovering Professor Satus Vitality from their discard pile, but you can definitely replace this for another card. To win with this Team Rocket Zapdos build, you have to have patience. Even if your opponent manages to knock out a lot of your Pokemon, remember that your main goal is to ultimately prevent them from attacking. And when you deprive your opponent from all of their energies, all that's left is to wait until they deck out, or you can slowly take out their other Pokemon. The only matchup that you're guaranteed to lose is probably against Blissey EX because it has an ability that can switch energies around their board, and there's no way you can prevent them from energizing their Pokemon. But besides that, this deck can easily take down S tier meta decks, which is pretty insane. This deck is super fun to play, and I'm pretty sure you're going to lose some friends because of this deck. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Team Rocket Zapdos. Before we get into the video, I have a small request. If you're liking the content I create, please leave a like to this video and please support this channel by subscribing if you haven't already. This is a small click for you, but for me, it means a lot. Thank you so much for all of your support. Alright, on to our first match. I will be starting this one with Team Rocket Zapdos in the active spot. My opponent will be going first, and they're going to start with Marnie's Impidimp. So we're going up against Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. They will set up Munkidori along with the Dark Energy. They're going to pass. We drew into Team Rocket's energy. We can energize our Zapdos. We can even start attacking this turn, actually. We also have Town Store. We can get Handheld Fan to attach to our Zapdos. And we can use Ultra Ball to get our own Munkidori. That way we can counter theirs. And I'm just going to use Professor's Research. Attacking with Zapdos isn't going to do much though. And my opponent can just fully evolve into Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX and just knock out our Zapdos. So I think the best move here is to just use Ultra Ball. I'll just discard these 2 for now. Get Badoo. We can use Switch. That way we can preserve our Team Rocket's energy. And then we're just going to attack with Itchy Pollen. And now my opponent is item locked. They can't use any item cards. They can't use Rare Candy to fully evolve into Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. And they cannot use Secret Box, which is a pretty common A-Spec card used in Grimmsnarl EX builds. But this Team Rocket Zapdos is actually very reminiscent of Snorlax block. The strategy is different, but it is very effective and very annoying just the same. For now though, my opponent evolves into their Marnie's Morgrim. They will attach an energy. I'm thinking we can start disrupting our opponent next turn. But they can just fully evolve into Grimmsnarl EX if they have the card that they need. With Arven, they got Buddy Buddy Poffin along with Rescue Board, but they can't use it because they are item locked. They will use Adrena Brain to transfer 2 damage to Arbadu, and they're going to pass. We got Palpad. Let me go ahead and recover our Ionos. We'll need that late game. Use Super Rod to recover. I can use Town Store to get Handheld Fan, and we can use Artisan to get another Zapdos. Or actually, let me get Munkidori, because I know Grimmsnarl EX builds has a lot of Munkidoris, so we need that to counter it. But now we have Handheld Fan. I think I'm just gonna attach it to Munkidori. That way we can use Professor's Research. We got a Nest Ball, so I can set up at least another Zapdos. And then I'm gonna hold off on the Crushing Hammer. I could item lock them again, but I feel like they have Grimmsnarl in their hand already. So I'm just gonna use Zapdos. And I'm just gonna use Jamming Wing, deal 30 damage, and then we're gonna transfer the Dark Energy to their Munkidori. So that's our only option right now anyways, and I doubt this Grimmsnarl EX build has any Psychic Energies to help Munkidori attack, so it's only there to transfer damage counters. But now they're gonna set up another Impidimp, a Snorunt, and another Munkidori. And now with the Ultra Ball, they will get Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. So they will evolve. By evolving, that activates the Punk Up ability, allowing them to search their deck for Dark Energies, and then they can attach it to their Marnie's Pokemon. And they will attach 3 Dark Energies to their active Grimmsnarl EX. They will use Iono. And we got Crushing Hammer. That could help us out. And with a Dark Energy on Munkidori, each time we attack, they're just gonna transfer the damage to our Pokemon. But right now, they took a knockout against our Badu. They will take their first prize. And Grimmsnarl's attack deals 180 and also deals 30 damage to our benched Pokemon. So they will take a knockout against our Zapdos, but with the Handheld Fan, it activates, we transfer it to their Snorunt. So we got our other Zapdos. I could use Chingling to disrupt their hand in some way. I'm gonna hold off on Badu for now. And then with the Town Store, I'm gonna get another Handheld Fan. And I'm just going to attach it to the Zapdos. Use Crushing Hammer, but we failed it. For now, I'm just gonna stall with Counter Catcher. Put the Impidimp in the active. We can use Professor's Research. We got Crushing Hammers. We got Heads. We can at least disarm this Grimmsnarl EX. We got another one. Yes! Alright, we got 2 heads. Look at that. So we removed 2 energies from their Grimmsnarl EX. We're not going to be too scared of that anymore. And we can even use the Rossic's Machinations. I'm going to recover Zapdos. That we will have a backup attacker. I'm going to transfer these damage to our opponent's Pokemon. It really doesn't matter because they have 2 Munkidoris. But I'm just going to end my turn. We'll see if my opponent can evolve into another Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX to energize their Pokemon. They have Spikemuth Gym, allowing them to search their deck for Marnie's Pokemon. They have Rare Candy. They have Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. They will evolve, and once again, activates its ability, self-energize, and now it can keep attacking. But that's okay. You know, that's alright. As long as we have Handheld Fan, we can just keep transferring those energies to their Pokemon that does not attack. But foolish me, I put Chingling in play, so my opponent gets another knockout for that. We did get Team Rocket's energy though, thankfully, from their Iono. So they take another knockout. We'll switch or transfer their energy thanks to our handheld fan. And we're just gonna attach the energy to Zapdos. I can use Iono. That will put my opponent down to just 2 cards in their hand. And as long as we have 2 Monkeydoris, we should be fine. We should be able to survive. And then it'll just be a matter of time before my opponent decks out. Especially if they can't retreat or attack with their Grimmsnarl EX. So I'm just gonna attack with Jamming Tower. Switch their energy once again to their Frostlass. And slowly but surely, they're gonna run out of energy to attach to their Grimmsnarl EX. And maybe we can even take knockouts, but we'll see. Alright, so now it's our turn again. We got another handheld fan. We can attach that to our Zapdos. Thankfully, we got another Dark Energy. That way we can transfer these damage counters back to our opponents. And the good thing about it is that we can keep attacking with Zapdos. My opponent is just transferring damage that they receive, but we are going to continue to damage their Pokemon. But I'm going to take a knockout against this Monkeydory. That way, they have 1 less Pokemon to transfer damage. So we'll have the advantage, basically, having 2 Monkeydories to transfer damage counters. So even though their Frostlass is taking into effect, we have the advantage because we have 2 Monkeydories to transfer damage counters. More than they are able to. So it's going to be slow, steady, but we should be able to win this. Just a matter of time. Although my opponent can or might have a surprise. This can be anybody's game still, because they just need 2 more prizes to go. But as of right now, the Grimmsnarl EX is stuck in the active spot. They can't attack. All they're doing is just transferring damage counters and also damaging with Frostlass. Alright, they're just gonna pass. Got another Team Rocket's energy. Right, we ran out of Zapdos, so we'll have to use Super Rod. I'm gonna recover these 2. And we're gonna heal up our Monkeydory. Maybe we can even knock out this Monkeydory. It's not quite there yet, but it is getting there. Alright, so we're healing up. And we're slowly putting pressure on our opponent. Pretty soon their Monkeydory is gonna die, so they have to focus on removing damage counters on their Monkeydory. So at the same time, damage counter will build up on their Grimmsnarl EX. So a very slow strategy, but it is working out. Again, a very slow progress, but once you disarm your opponent, it's just a matter of time before you win the game. Alright, let's go ahead and just keep transferring damage from our Monkeydory. We can finish off this Monkeydory. We'll get another prize. And we're gonna slowly chip away at their Grimmsnarl EX. We got another backup attacker. Heal up this guy, put damage to their Grimmsnarl. And we're gonna keep attacking with Jamming Wing. We need a Lightning Energy to deal 120 damage. It will make it faster to knock out this Grimmsnarl EX, but we'll get there. One thing I don't like doing though is actually discarding the energies. What you want to do as much as possible is to keep those energies into play and put them to their non-attacking Pokemon. So exactly what happens is they can set up another Pokemon, recover those energies with Night Stretcher, just like what my opponent did. So I'm just gonna use Pokegear. We got an Iono. We can draw 4. Okay, we got a Lightning Energy. We could slowly just knock out this Grimmsnarl, but for now I need to heal up this Munkidori. Alright. Transfer that. Transfer this. It's not gonna die yet. We're dealing 120 with Wicked Thunder. It will take one more turn. At the end of their turn, this Grimmsnarl EX will get knocked out. So unless my opponent has any way to get it out of play, maybe they have Professor Turo's scenario, it will get knocked out. We'll get 2 prizes, and then it's just a matter of time before we take out another knockout. Alright, so my opponent's just gonna use Munkidori's Adrena Brain, probably heal up Grimmsnarl. No, they're gonna heal up the other Grimmsnarl. Okay, thankfully our Munkidori is still alive. Frostlass ability takes out their own Grimmsnarl. I'm okay with that. And now it's our turn. We have to heal up this guy. What I can do is put more damage to this Grimmsnarl. Yeah, let's just do that for now. We're just healing up our Pokemon, and then we can use Neutralization Zone is not as useful anymore, but we're just gonna get it. And we have Lightning Energy, so we can attack with this other Zapdos, but I don't want to knock out this Frostlass because that's going to give them access to more energy. So for now, I'm just going to use Jamming Tower. I'm going to transfer the energy to Munkidori. And at this point, I wonder if we can knock out Munkidori. So they have 4 damage counters on it already, plus 6. So if we deal 6 damage, Frostlass will take into effect, knock it out, but then we still will not be able to take 2 prizes. Okay, they're gonna use Evolution. Oh, so they will evolve into another Frostlass. So now they'll have 2 Freezing Shroud ability. That will actually take out our Munkidori. And this is why you should never underestimate your opponent, guys. It can still be anybody's game. That was a good move. Because of that TM evolution, they evolved into another Frostlass, so they took out our Munkidori. But now, we are in a really difficult situation here. I could use Earth and... Oh! We have Night Stretcher. Thankfully, we had another energy, Dark Energy, in our deck. So I'm gonna get Munkidori. You know what, guys? We got this. We got this. So, what I'm gonna do is just heal up my Munkidori. We're going to finish off this Frostlass. It doesn't matter if we discard their energies, because any of the Pokemon on their bench, we could just take out with Team Rocket's Zapdos' second attack. So we'll get another prize. We get a Dark Energy. Wow, that was a close one, but we got it. Yes, Wicked Thunder deals 120, enough to knock out their Grimmsnarl EX to get our last prize to win the game. Good game. Moving on to our second match. I had to mulligan once, and I'll be starting with Team Rocket Zapdos in the active once again, and I will be going first. This time though, I'm gonna go against Gardevoir EX. We got Munkidori. I will attach a Lightning Energy to Zapdos for now. That way, if we need to attack next turn, I could just attach another energy. But our opening hand is pretty horrible. We don't have any other supporter cards, so it could easily just lose this game. So my opponent will start with Ralts in their active. They have a second one on their bench. And they also have TM Evolution attached. And with the Ultra Ball, they will get another Ralts. And they will use Iono. Probably gonna search for an energy. And this Iono actually helps us out because we didn't have any support cards. Now we have access to Color's Tenacity and Pokegear 3.0. So my opponent's just gonna evolve both their bench Pokemon into Kirlias. So now they're one stage away from evolving into Gardevoir EX. Let's go ahead and attach our handheld fan to Zapdos as well as the Team Rocket's energy. And I need to set up more basic Pokemon on my bench. I'm just gonna use Iono. Okay, we got Badoo and Chingling. Let me switch Chingling in the active. Let's see if we can discard something important from our opponent's hand. So Chiming Commotion discards Lily's Clefairy EX. Alright. I don't know how useful that was, but now my opponent's using a bunch of Earthen Vessel. I should have just used Badoo, to be honest with you. Now they're discarding a lot of energies and searching them out from their deck. And they will use Secret Box. So they discard 3 cards from their hand, discarding more energies. And this allows them to search their deck for 4 different types of cards. And they're gonna get an Ultra Ball, Professor's Research, and an Artisan. So if they evolve into Gardevoir EX, they can also search out one of their attackers. And with the Ultra Ball, they're gonna search out their Gardevoir EX. They will evolve. Now they can start accelerating those psychic energies from the discard pile to their psychic type Pokemon in any way they like, but they will receive 2 damage counters each time they attach the energy. They're also going to set up Monkey Dory, Mew EX, and Drifloon. So my opponent's not giving me a lot of good options here. I think Monkey Dory is the only Pokemon we can transfer the energies safely to. For now though, my opponent just powers up Ralts, knocks out our Chingling. And now we have Zapdos. We drew into another Zapdos, which is good. I can attach the handheld fan. I can use Artisan. I can get another Monkey Dory. And then I'm going to use Earthen Vessel to get Dark Energies. That way I can power up my Monkey Dories. And I'm just going to use Jamming Wing for now. Deal 30 damage to their Ralts. And I'm going to transfer the Psychic Energy to their Monkey Dory. So I have to choose the lesser of 2 evils, guys. All of their bench Pokemon are good attackers, actually, except for Monkey Dory. That one deals 60 damage, and it confuses our active, but still, it's not the worst, right? Drifloon can deal a lot of damage. Mew EX can copy our attack, which could be very disruptive. And my opponent uses Iono, so that actually helps us out, because we were down to just 1 card in our hand. And I'm okay with that. We're going to use Adrena Brain to knock out our Badoo. And they're gonna attack with Mind Bend. So deal 60, confuses our Zapdos, but our handheld fan takes into effect. And I think I'm just gonna transfer this Dark Energy to Gardevoir, because it's a little less useful for Gardevoir. Got another Team Rocket Zapdos. So we can put that into play. We can use Artisan. We got Sandshrew. Yeah, let's just put this into play. Maybe we can use it as a pivot, sacrifice it if we need to. And I'm going to use Town Store to get my last handheld fan available. And I'll attach it to my 3rd Team Rocket Zapdos. So I'm thinking I'm probably just going to retreat this active. We got Color's Tenacity from Pokegear. Let's go ahead and use this. We can get Neutralization Zone and a Dark Energy. probably just gonna retreat Zapdos. That way we can remove the confusion. We can attach Team Rocket's energy to another Zapdos. Transfer these damage to Ralts. And then I'm just gonna use Jamming Wing once again. Deal 30 damage to Munkidori. And yeah, I'll just put it on their Curlia for now. Either way, it's a good thing to keep those energies in play, because what we want to do is avoid our opponent from using the energies in the discard pile. So like I said, you just have to be patient with this build. It takes a little bit of time before you can fully disrupt your opponent, but slowly and surely you will be able to do so. It doesn't matter how many Pokemon they knock out, as long as they don't take all prizes, there's still always a chance for you to disrupt them and deprive them of the energies that they need to attack. So neutralization zone, we're gonna hold off on that. Maybe we can even transfer energies to Gardevoir EX, prevent them from damaging our Pokemon. So they'll attach an energy, retreat their Munkidori. They should have used their Adrena Brain first before retreating that. But now they're gonna energize their Gardevoir EX. And they're going to attack with Miracle Force. So once again, Handheld Fan takes into effect. I'm just going to continue to transfer energies to their Munkidori, I think. So they knocked out our Zapdos. My opponent takes another prize. But we have a backup Zapdos, so we should be okay for now. We got Xerosic's Machinations. Let me go ahead and transfer these damage to Drifloon. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm thinking the more damage we put on it, the less energies Gardevoir can accelerate onto it. So it's a little bit of a risk, but we're gonna do that. And I don't know if Xerosic's Machinations was a good idea, but that actually helped my opponent discard more energies. But that's okay. We're gonna go with it. I'm just gonna use Jamming Wing for now. Transfer the Psychic Energy to Munkidori, but my opponent still has a lot of access to Psychic Energies in the discard pile. You can use Professor's Research. They're down to just 8 cards in their deck, so we could take advantage of that. I just hope they don't have any more stadiums. That way we can safely use our neutralization zone and prevent them from attacking. And we can even trap their Gardevoir EX in the active. If they don't have any more energies to accelerate, we can just trap it in the active and wait until our opponent decks out. So we have a few win conditions in this matchup. So far, we're doing pretty good. Although my opponent hasn't been very aggressive. They have 3 Psychic Energies. They could just retreat their Gardevoir and keep attacking with Drifloon. But either way, if they do that, we can just transfer the energies from Drifloon to their Munkidori. So like I said, we still have a chance to trap their Gardevoir in the active. And they're going to continue to attack with Gardevoir EX. I will transfer the energy to Munkidori. Alright, so here comes another Zapdos. We have the energy. Let's go ahead and recover our Zapdos and a Lightning Energy. Or actually, let me get Chingling and an energy, because if my opponent starts to run out of energy or cards from their deck, we could even disrupt them with Chingling. I'll attach the Dark Energy to Zapdos, use Professor's Research. We got another Zapdos. And we even have Counter Catcher. Let me go ahead and get this Gardevoir EX. Use Jamming Tower. Transfer this energy to their other Gardevoir. So with limited energies in the discard pile, they have Dark Energy and a Psychic Energy. So they can accelerate one. If they have Night Stretcher, they can recover the Dark Energy, but they'll have to discard that once they retreat. And their other attackers is not gonna deal any damage to our Zapdos. They can't accelerate an energy to their Drifloon if they only have one Psychic Energy, because the Drifloon requires 2 energies. So we're doing pretty good actually. My opponent just passes. We got a Lightning Energy. We can use Iono. Got Team Rocket's energy, look at that. But let me just put the Dark Energy to Monkey Dory. Jamming Wing. We're just gonna keep damaging their Gardevoir EX. And I'm not gonna put Team Rocket's energy on it just so we can deal a lot of damage. Because that could be a waste if my other Zapdos gets trapped in the active. We will not be able to attack with it. So you're very limited on Team Rocket's energy, so make sure you use it wisely. At this point though, I don't know if my opponent has any other way to retreat their Gardevoir EX. Do they have a Night Stretcher to recover their energy to retreat their Gardevoir? But at this point, they're not going to be able to attack. They can attack with Monkey Dory, but that's going to be it. I'm going to use Night Stretcher to recover another Zapdos. And I'm going to continue to attack. It's just going to be a matter of time before my opponent runs out of cards. But forcing them to draw with Iono was okay, because that means they can reveal whatever it is that they have left in their deck. They could even take out our neutralization zone. But still, with limited energies in their discard pile, I don't even know if they can retreat this Gardevoir. But with no other activity, it seems like my opponent just gave up. They could just concede, but I don't know why they just stopped playing. Maybe they maybe they just rage quit. And there it is. Good game. On to our third match. This time I'm going to start with Badoo in the active. We also have Team Rocket Zapdos on our bench. And my opponent will be going first in this matchup. And we're going up against Ethan's Typhlosion. So they have Cyndaquil and Pidgey. And this is probably going to be a very difficult matchup because Typhlosion only requires 1 energy to attack. But we got Crushing Hammer. We got Tails on that one though. Let's go ahead and use Artisan. Set up another basic Pokemon on our bench. And I think I'm going to go with Team Rocket's Chingling. We have Zerasic's Machinations. We can use that in combination. We'll attach the handheld fan. Force our opponent to discard cards from their hand until they only have 3 left. And then we can use Chiming Commotion to have our opponent discard another random card from their hand. And with the 2 cards left, maybe that will slow down our opponent, prevent them from setting up. Because we need to buy some time. We need another supporter card here to help us draw into more cards. But my opponent will evolve into Ethan's Quilava. They use the Bonded by the Journey ability, allowing them to search for Ethan's Adventure. And in turn, that allows them to search their deck for 3 in any combination of energies and Ethan's Pokemon. So despite our disruption, my opponent still finds the momentum and they even knock out our Chingling. Thankfully though, we drew into Color's Tenacity. Let me set up another Zapdos. We can use Color's Tenacity to get Team Rocket's energy and Town Store. I can energize this guy. We can disrupt them this turn. And I could target their Cyndaquil. Or I could just disrupt this Quilava. Let me use Town Store first. Let me get another handheld fan attached to this guy. And I think I'm going to go for Cyndaquil because they still need to evolve this one. We can use Jamming Wing, deal 30, transfer that energy to their Pidgey. So now they'll have to attach an energy to Cyndaquil to retreat it. And when they attack with Typhlosion, the handheld fan will remove it as well, so they'll have no energy by the end of their turn. So hopefully that works, but we need to draw into more cards, guys. So there's the attachment. They will retreat. They will evolve into Ethan's Typhlosion. And slowly, they're going to evolve into Quilava as well. And the more Ethan's Adventure they have in the discard pile, the more damage they will deal. And so they deal 160 damage, knocking out our Zapdos. Our handheld fan takes into effect, so we move that to Pidgey. And I'm just gonna stall. I'm gonna boss their Cyndaquil into the active once again. Get handheld fan, put Monkey Door into play, and we're gonna use Itchy Pollen to item lock our opponent. So they'll have to attach an energy to Cyndaquil to retreat it, but now they will not be able to attach an energy to attack. But then again, they evolved into Quilava. They could search out their deck for another energy to attach to Quilava. They can still knock out Badoo. But with the handheld fan, we can still remove it and switch it to their Pidgey. They have TM Evolution, but they're just gonna pass. Okay. Do they not have any other energies in their deck? Let's attach an energy to Zapdos, and I'm just gonna continue with Itchy Pollen, guys. By item locking them, maybe they don't have, or maybe they have Night Stretcher or recovery item cards, but they will not be able to use it. So without those, they will not be able to recover those fire energies to attach to their Typhlosion to attack. So I think I'm just gonna item lock my opponent until they lose. Will it work? We'll find out. So we're gonna continue with the Itchy Pollen. If they can't use Night Stretcher, they can't use Energy Retrieval. We should be okay. And we're just gonna continue to attack. Maybe they can't even use... oh, they have a ticket. So they can get energies from their prizes, but they can't use it because it's an item card. Alright, we're gonna continue with this Itchy Pollen, guys. Maybe my opponent will just concede after some time. But, yeah, I mean... that's probably the only way I can win this, guys. Because Typhlosion only requires one energy. We have another Badoo as backup. We're gonna continue with this strategy, guys. If we allow them to use those item cards, it's gonna be game over for us. So we're gonna continue with this. Got Course Tenacity. We're just gonna continue with Itchy Pollen. Maybe we can just knock out this Cyndaquil and go from there. It requires 2 energies for it to retreat, so it's just gonna get stuck in the active. Unless they can attack with it. Our Zapdos can now attack if we need it to. And we're gonna continue with Itchy Pollen. Maybe after some time, after my opponent has drawn enough cards, we can recover Xerosic's Machinations and just have our opponent discard a lot of their cards. Thankfully, we have Chorus Tenacity. Looks like my opponent's just trying to stall here, but we can search out for an energy, we can retreat it, and continue to item lock our opponent. And if they continue to trap us, we can use Night Stretcher to recover the energy. And they're gonna evolve into Pidgeotto. Okay. A little scary, but we do have Neutralization Zone available to us. We'll have to figure it out later on. There's the Pidgeot EX. Now they can use the Quick Search ability. Do they have an energy in their deck? They still don't have an energy. Bro, we even got Crashing Hammer. We got Tails on that one though. With those energies on Pidgeot EX is a little bit scary though. So I'm just gonna put Neutralization Zone in play already. And we're gonna continue with Itchy Pollen. Again, if they can't switch out this Typhlosion, we should be fine. The thing is, again, with Pidgeot EX's attack, they can still take out our Neutralization Zone Stadium. They're gonna continue to boss our Munkidori, but we have Night Stretcher. We're just gonna get this energy, retreat it, and continue to item lock them, guys. And they're gonna concede, look at that! Alright, good game. On to our fourth and final match. I had to mulligan twice, and this time I'm gonna start with Team Rocket's Chingling in the active. We also have Munkidori on our bench. And I will be going first in this matchup. My opponent will start with Badoo. We drew into Team Rocket's Zapdos, which is awesome. I can attach the Dark Energy on Munkidori. I'll just get this Iono with Pokegear. And I'm just gonna end my turn. So my opponent can item lock us. But if we can draw into Team Rocket's energy, we should still be able to attack with Zapdos next turn. For now, my opponent will use Buddy Buddy Poffin, and they will set up 2 Dreepies on their bench. So we're actually going up against Dragapult EX. They have Luminous Energy. If we can discard that, it's unrecoverable. It's really difficult to recover special energies in the current format right now. So they're just gonna item lock us. We have Lightning Energy. I'm gonna use Iono. Alright, we got another Munkidori. We can attach the handheld fan to Zapdos. And I feel like I'm just gonna item lock my opponent as well. Because they just need one more energy to power up their Dreepy. If they have Rare Candy and Dragapult EX, they could just start knocking us out. So I'm just going to transfer damage with Adreno Brain. We're going to Itchy Pollen our opponent as well. So now they can't use Rare Candy to evolve into Dragapult EX. They will evolve into Direct Cloak though. Now they can start using the Recon Directive ability. They can look at the top 2 cards of their deck, put one on the bottom of their deck, and then the other one they draw. I believe this is a winnable matchup because we do have Munkidori to transfer the damage back that they spread with Dragapult EX. And then we also have access to Neutralization Zone to prevent them from damaging our active Pokemon. They also have Charmander, so they're also using Charizard EX in this build. They will retreat their Badoo into Dreepy, and they're just gonna pass. So we got another Dark Energy. We can attempt for this Crushing Hammer. We failed. I think I'm just gonna use Chingling this turn actually. Let's go ahead and discard a random card from our opponent's hand. We discarded an Arvid. That could be useful. So now it all depends on our opponent whether or not they can fully set up to their attacker and start knocking out our Pokemon. But we do have a way to disrupt our opponent's energies, because for the most part Dragapult EX builds doesn't have a lot of access to energies, just because it has a low energy requirement for their attack. So we could just transfer the energies to Badoo. I might actually just keep it alive now that I think about it. So now my opponent will use Ultra Ball to get Charizard EX. They have Rare Candy. They will evolve it. That will activate the Infernal Rain ability, allowing them to search their deck for up to 3 fire energies and then attach them to their Pokemon in any way they like. So now they can retreat their Dreepy, start attacking with Charizard EX. And that will get them their first prize, knocking out our Chingling. But that's alright. They're only taking 1 prize. I'm just gonna pivot into Badoo. We got Team Rocket's energy. Let me go ahead and use Earthen Vessel. Let me get these 2 energies. I'll retreat into Zapdos and I'll attach another Lightning Energy. That way we can use Jamming Wing. And then we can transfer this energy to their Badoo. So I don't want to waste my Team Rocket's energy. Again, you only have limited amounts of it. We have 4 in the deck. So since we already had the initial Lightning Energy, we're just going to go with this, and we're just going to disrupt our opponent, basically. So unless my opponent can draw into another Fire Energy, they will not be able to attack with Charizard EX. And once they do, or if they do, our handheld fan will take into effect. We can remove another energy from their Charizard EX. And it's just going to be a matter of time before we can knock it out. They will evolve into more Dracloaks though. So now they have 3 card draws every turn, but they're just gonna pass. Let me go ahead and use Colress Tenacity. I'm gonna go and get Artisan. That way we can set up another Zapdos, just in case my opponent gets to attack again. And then we can attach the Team Rocket's energy, and we're gonna continue with Jamming Wing. Once again, dealing 30 damage to their Charizard EX. And we're going to continue to transfer those fire energies to their Badoo. So I think I'm just going to focus on the fire energies, because if that's all they have, I'm thinking if they have a Psychic Energy, a regular Psychic Energy is going to be a problem. But if they're relying solely on Luminous Energy, that only works if you don't have any other special energies attached. So you can't use 2 Luminous Energies to 1 Pokemon. You need another basic Pokemon for it to work. So the Luminous Energy is not all that great. What I'm worried about is if they have a basic Psychic Energy to attach. But even then, what we're going to try and do is just remove the fire energies, move them all to Badoo, and maybe we can still disarm our opponent. Got Enhanced Hammer though, that way we can remove their Luminous Energy. And this time I'm just gonna retreat. I'm gonna continue to attack this Charizard EX, but this time item locking them. We'll attach another Team Rocket's energy to our 3rd Zapdos. So the only way my opponent can get rid of this Charizard EX is if they have a switch, which now they cannot use, because they are item locked, and they'll have to attach 2 energies to it for it to retreat or even attack. So right now we're just gonna continue with this item lock. Overall though, Team Rocket's Zapdos is very, very annoying. Very effective though. So my opponent is going to continue to draw. They already have 10 cards in their hand. If only we had Xerosic's Machinations, man. We are dead drawing a little bit here though, but we're just going to continue with Itchy Pollen. We are dealing 20 damage every single turn. So it is slow going, but we are getting there. We might even be able to knock out this Charizard EX. But ultimately, if you're not able to take all of your prizes, again, your main priority is to just disarm your opponent. If they cannot attack anymore, they could just draw out their entire deck and they can lose that way. So again, this is just another form of Snorlax block, but in a different strategy. You just remove your opponent's energies basically. Alright, we got another handheld fan. Just gonna continue with Itchy Pollen. We're gonna go with this, guys. They can't use Switch. This Charizard EX is stuck in the active spot, basically. So they have one Dracloak with Luminous Energy, so if they evolve that into Dragapult EX, it will be ready to attack. It can knock out our Badoo, but it's not gonna knock out any of our bench Pokemon. Then we can just transfer the damage counters with Munkidori to their Pokemon. So we're ready for them. I think Munkidori in this build is a very smart idea. And yes, I did come up with it myself during testing. And my opponents, once again, they're just gonna pass, and we're just gonna continue with item lock. So this is pretty much our strategy. Whatever works, guys. So we have a lot of disruption options in this build. But of course, mainly is to move our opponent's energies around. They will attach TM Evolution, but no energies to attach. They're gonna continue to pass, and we're gonna continue to Itchy Pollen with Badoo. I think right now Badoo is still one of the best Pokemon cards in the format right now. The item lock attack is just too awesome. And you combine that with Team Rocket's Zapdos, it's even more awesome. So my opponent has 24 cards in their hand. That's insane. Where's Zerosic's Machinations when you need it? So my opponent has the rescue board. They attached an energy. They finally were able to retreat their Charizard EX. Now they have Dragapult EX to attack. They will boss our Zapdos. And they have Jamming Tower. That's going to affect our handheld fan greatly. But still, we can attack with Zapdos and remove their energy. It's going to take some time, but it is possible. So they will take a knockout against our Zapdos, bringing along our Badoo because of the damage counter that they spread. Let's go ahead and attach our handheld fan, attach another energy. And where are our supporter cards, man? We've only gotten 2 so far. I'm just going to recover these 3 with Super Rod. And then I'm just going to use Jamming Wing. And I will move the Fire Energy to their Badoo. So if they're reliant solely on Luminous Energy, again, you can't mix 2 special energies with Luminous Energy. They have 2 fire energies in the discard pile. We have 3 on Badoo. So do they have access to fire energies? Do they have Night Stretcher to recover them is the question. But if they try and attack us, the Jamming Tower is not helping. But we have another Zapdos to remove their energy. So it really depends on the composition of my opponent's build, what they have access to. They have another fire energy, but they're gonna retreat into Badoo. Why? Why would they do that? Alright, they're gonna attack with Itchy Pollen. I think they're trying to have us remove the energy, but thanks to their Jamming Tower, that actually prevents the handheld fan from taking into effect. So that's fine. I'm just gonna end my turn. I'm not gonna knock out this Badoo because we need it. We need it. Can they recover the fire energies? They only have 1 Night Stretcher used so far. They should still, or they might still have more in the deck. But I'm wondering where my Zerosic's Machination is, guys. This would be really awesome right now. Have our opponent discard their entire hand. 20 cards in their hand. That's insane. They have 4 cards left in their deck though. Do they have an Iono is the question. Do they have an Iono? They could be stalling just a little bit here, but I don't know. I think they're just forcing our hand. We got an Iono ourselves. I might just have to use this to just keep this game going. I mean, either way, we just have to disarm our opponent. I'm just gonna end my turn for now. Maybe I'll just wait it out until they deck out. But they have Super Rod. They will recover more energies. So 2 fire energies and Monkey Dory. They will evolve into Charizard EX, activating Infernal Rain. And they will attach an energy to Dragapult. Okay, they have Luminous Energy. They will evolve into another Dragapult EX. They will use Phantom Dive. They will knock out our Zapdos. And again, because of the jamming tower, the handheld fan is not taking into effect, so that's not gonna be good. They're down to just 2 cards in their hand. I could use Jamming Wing. Let me use Ultra Ball, set up another Zapdos, attach this, and I'm gonna use Iono. I have no choice, guys. No choice. We got Neutralization Zone. Look at this. Let's use Crushing Hammer. We failed it again. Let's go ahead and remove their Jamming Tower. With 2 cards left in their hand, I don't think they can replace it anytime soon. I'm just gonna transfer damage counters to their Charizard EX. Maybe we can take a knockout, maybe. But for now, I'm just gonna use Jamming Wing. And we're gonna continue without let up. Just transferring the fire energies to their Badoo. And with limited fire energies in their deck, that's probably gonna be it. Will my opponent just concede? I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Right now, they can't damage us. They can spread damage counters, but we're just gonna give them all back with Monkey Dory. And they're just gonna pass. Look at that. I'm gonna boss this guy, remove this fire energy, and put it to Badoo. And there it is. This deck is so evil, guys. Oh my. I highly recommend it. I have won so many games with this deck. And there it is. My opponent concedes. Good game. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel. And until next time, please stay safe and have a great day.